This is Dr. Joan Pastor from the Healthy Brain and Body Center of Beverly Hills. We've been talking about gifted intelligence and gifted testing and characteristics that usually show up when the person is still pretty young in age, still a child, that might indicate that they have gifted intelligence. Now, just to review quickly, what are the areas that I've been covering or still have to cover? I've talked about the fact that an early interest in learning is one sign. Another sign is the ability to grasp new concepts easily and also to apply those concepts to practical, real-life, usable situations. The third has to do with curiosity about many topics and how sometimes that can be confused with gifted children having attention deficit disorder, or a gifted child actually could have ADD as well as just be gifted and be driven and drawn to a lot of different topics. The next thing that we're going to talk about is tied to that, and that is what happens when a child is bored, okay, what does that mean, or overstimulated. After that, on future videos, we're going to talk about the child's tendency to prefer being with adult company and their interactions with their peers. And then finally, we're going to talk about something called processing ability and quote-unquote G, which is a powerful concept in the notion of intelligence. Now, I'm going to say a little bit more about this characteristic because it's a core one for a child who tests as gifted. And that is that gifted people, not just children, but people, do have a tendency to become bored more easily, and or the opposite. They also become overstimulated more easily. Now, there is a whole lot that can be said about this. Let's talk about the idea that they're going to be bored. It makes sense. If you're a person who grasps things quickly, if you have a high intelligence, and you ask why, if you're much more curious about the world, okay, you're going to run through books, experiences, sports, anything that you can learn about. It's going to be like somebody who is at a pie eating contest. Who's the person who can eat the most pies and do it the fastest? Well, a gifted person is going to do that automatically. They're going to be able to learn things much faster. As a result, they're also often saying, okay, what's next? So what's next? So, okay, I got that. So now what do I do now? So what do I do? So being bored is a big problem for many gifted children. That's why we want to give them more challenging curriculums in school, as well as even more challenging sports and challenging arts and anything that will help to challenge them, okay? The second part, however, is the opposite, and that is that a child who is bored at the same time could also be almost what you would say hyperactive. The truth is that they're hypersensitive, and this can make them overexcitable. Now, overexcitability is not just in the domain of gifted children, but there is a tendency for people with high IQs to also have all their sensory skills be more highly elevated as well. And in some of the testing that I do to test not only for intelligence, especially if we're looking at giftedness, we also test sensory, motory skills as well, because the excitability is an important factor in helping people who are gifted to, in a sense, cope with being gifted. By being overexcitable, what we mean by that is that the average person can wear a shirt that maybe the tag in it is a little scratchy, but it doesn't really bother them. A person who's maybe hypersensitive, okay, in the physical realm, the slightest sensitivity, that tag, a little bit of scratchiness, they can't stand it. The same thing would be if they felt a wrinkle on their sock. They would have to stop and take their shoe off and fix their sock, just because they would be feeling the wrinkle. But this hypersensitivity can show up in lots of different places, and that's what we're going to talk about next. This has been Dr. Joan Pastor from the Healthy Brain and Body Center of Beverly Hills. For more information, please call us at 310-892-0210 or go to our website as listed below. Thank you.